Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. You know, current events can cause kids to become really fearful, but so can other things like overhearing parents arguing, the loss of a pet, or their best friend moving away. It's important for parents to recognize when their kids are actually in need of reassurance and how to talk to them about those issues. Our next guest is Dr. HARVEY KARP. He is a pediatrician and the author of The Happiest Toddler on the Block, a parenting guide celebrating its 20th year in publication. And by the way, he's also the creator of the SNOO. It's an award-winning responsive baby bed. He joins us now on our show. This is so important because we as parents, we project onto our kids, I would imagine. I'd like for you to speak on that, about how do we make sure our kids don't have that stress, something that we might not really care too much about. I'm sure it gets exemplified, right, to kids if we pass that on to them?
Well, yeah, as you're saying, kids are filtering everything, right? They're listening into all your conversations. They hear the news out of the corner of their ear, and people may be crying, and little things, fireworks, a mean dog that they saw can reverberate in their minds. Remember, they're little, you're big, they're little
Yeah.
in a big world. And so there are a lot of things that can be scary. So yeah, the first thing not to do really is to rush in and reassure them. Oh, there's nothing to be afraid of. Oh, don't worry about that. You will get there. But when you do it too fast, it's kind of like with you. If you really had a fear of being in an airplane and they're pushing you on the airplane and they say, don't be afraid, just go in. It's not going to feel very good.
Right.
So God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you listen twice as much as you speak. And that's the best way to start it out, to hear, let them talk, listen for a little bit.
And do you ask them just point blank, hey, is there anything bothering you? Or do you maybe tell a story of like, when I was a kid, yada, 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 this happened to me. What's the best way to approach that?
Those are actually 2 really good techniques, both of those. But for some kids, they don't quite feel brave enough to expose it yet. All of us have been made fun of for things that we've thought and felt. And so sometimes you have to have a little pause there and lead them a tiny bit. So you might go, wow, your face looks a little unhappy right now. Are almost scary. I think, is there something bothering you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Pause, wait, don't rush to fill in the silence. Let them. And then, if you think there's something going on, you can say, because I remember when I was a little kid your age, sometimes there were things that really I didn't like.
Yeah.
And pause. And that kind of is an invitation to say, I've got the time and I've got the interest. And so I'm here to listen.
Okay. All right. Now, I would love to say I was the best father in the world and I knew everything, but believe it or not, everybody in this room does not believe this, how I don't know everything. So a kid will ask me something. How do you respond to it? Maybe you don't really know how to answer the question. How do we actually respond?
Well, see, that's the most important thing to know, is that you don't have to solve every problem. You don't have to be the ultimate source of truth. The most important thing is for us to know that we have people who love us and who are going to walk down that path of life with us.
Okay.
And so you might say, listen, I don't even know let's think about it. You don't have to say you don't know as a final answer. Let's think about it. Let's work it out together. You know what? I'm going to think hard on this and let's talk about it again. So if you don't really know the answer, you can kind of leave it with a question, but letting your child know, I'm always going to be the one you can talk to. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to make fun, and I'm not going to push you into suddenly giving up all of your feelings because I don't have the answers for that. And then there are other indirect things you can do, like for little kids, drawing pictures is a great thing to do. You know what? I hear that's a big word. Let's draw a picture. What does that even look like? And you can guide them in that direction.
And it sounds like it's also given them the assurance that you are going to spend more time with them, and time is the best thing that we could ever give to our kids. If folks want to get more information, Dr. KARP, where can they go?
They can come to thehappiestbaby.com. There's lots and lots of information from babies. You were so kind to talk about the SNOO, which is this little baby bed that gives babies an extra hour or 2 of sleep and helps to keep them in a safe position.
Oh, I love that.
All night. And then lots more about toddlers.
All right.
Too.
I want something that gives me an extra hour. Thank you, Dr. KARP, for joining us here on Daily Flash.
See you, Mitch.